Welcome to the Milk and Honey with Lemon podcast. I'm your host, Lemon Price, creator of the Holy Girl Habits, wife and mama, and certified life and leadership coach who turned away from corporate life to embrace kingdom leadership. This podcast is for Christian women feeling the weight of their divine callings, grappling with doubts of their leadership abilities, and searching tirelessly for biblically grounded guidance who want to step confidently into their roles as radiant kingdom leaders. Inside, we're going to traverse from those feelings of uncertainty and overwhelming searches, moving toward firm biblical leadership, empowering you to steward your gifts, and showing you that you indeed have what it takes. So, sister, grab your favorite cup of coffee or tea, and let's dive in together. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Milk and Honey podcast. I am so excited because I have my friend Bianca Emely with me today, and it's going to be a two-part episode because she has got some good stuff to share today. So Bianca is a empowerment life strategist coach for Christian female entrepreneurs. And so I thought she was the perfect person to be here. She is the CEO and founder of Be Empowered Multinational. She's an international speaker and a ministry partner. She has been featured as a leading expert on iHeart Radio and an International Women's Day event. She was awarded Rookie of the Year and nominated Boss Mom, which is really cool. And so her commitment in life really is to help women achieve financial independence, experience true self-love, and allow for meaningful relationships. Bianca's also passionate about empowering her audience and clients with her step-by-step systems to say goodbye to life blocks and build generational wealth. And so this is honestly why I'm so excited to have her here, because this topic we're going to go into today is a good one. It is a good one. We're talking all about goal setting, and she's got some really good biblical knowledge for you today. So welcome, Bianca. I'm so excited you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited.
I am really jazzed. So I would love for you to give like a quick overview of what we're going to cover in this two-part episode, because she gets the first two-part episode. Like, I'm really excited about this.
Yes. So today I'm going to be talking about the vision. And at the beginning of the year or at the end of every year, everybody's always so focused on New Year's resolutions, right? And what happens is with most people is they're excited about all these goal settings, all these opportunities that they can have. And then once the year starts or time just gets going, it's like, oh, that didn't happen. Oh, this didn't work. And it's like once the second or third month now, truthfully, hold on, statistically speaking, once people hit the first week of February, I want to say it's about already 50% of people have already failed at their New Year's resolution.
Wow.
Which is insane. And so I'm like, well, how can we have women of God truly live the life that they were supposed to live and exceed in the goals and, just live in purpose. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
I am so excited. And I would love for you to share like the verse that sort of has like inspired this whole talk.
Yes. Okay. So it's Habakkuk 2:2. So write the vision, make it plain. Oh, that's so good. That it's so when I came up with the topic, because I did like a women's event for this as well at the beginning of the year. And when I discussed this, the vision was just, all right, we have to not only know what we want to do, like it not only does it need to be in our mind, but it needs to be on paper. And then it says, whoever's when you run, I'm trying to remember, whoever runs reads it. And it's pretty much saying like your goals need to be so loud and so visible that other people know exactly what it is that you're doing as well. And it's just so important for us to not only make the goals, write the goals, but see the goals come to pass. Like there's so many things that we need to do as women of God. And if you're just going throughout life, just hopeful wishing, because that's really what it is. Like, oh, everybody's like walking around with their fingers crossed. Like, I just pray that this happens, but there's no actions whatsoever behind it. It's like, well, what fruit are you really going to see from it? because a farmer doesn't go out there with seeds and just throws it out in the land and says, I just pray that these seeds just become all this tree, this fig tree, this olive tree, this apple tree. It's like, no, you got to put in the work as well. So
Oh, I love that. I love that you talk about this actionable piece because I think so many people, they walk around with, oh, I have this goal. And so I'm just going to, float through life sort of. And then they're shocked when the goal doesn't happen, right? Nothing changes if nothing changes. And so I love that you said that because I think it's really different too than the New Age movement and manifestation and all those things. So you can explain how these are two very different things.
yeah, so there's a very fine line with this whole manifestation thing as well, because in the Bible it does say to manifest, but this new age, has taken it to let's do hocus pocus type of stuff. And that is
Preach it. Okay. Thank you for being one of the first people. I only know a handful of women. I'm sorry, I'm like interrupting you, but I only know a handful of women who acknowledge the fact that the word manifest is in the Bible.
yes, it is. And
Thank you.
and it's crazy because, again, what is good the enemy takes for evil, and vice versa. Whatever is bad that happens in our lives, God makes it good, right? And so it's like it's the corruption of things, which happens all the time, right? And okay, so going back to the whole manifestation thing, it's insane because now this new age, and this is so prevalent, it is out there, it is common. The new generation, it's like this is normalized. And if you don't have discernment or wisdom, you can easily fall into this, because this all falls into, and I may be getting off topic, but I'll get back on. It all falls, this new manifestation falls into like horoscopes and witchcraft and all this other stuff. And it's like, wait, hold up. Like, you're saying now with this whole new age manifestation, I have complete control of my life, and I can pretty much be the god of my life and make whatever I want happen. No, 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 boo boo. That is not the case. You know, we we are God's servants. We are vessels, and we are, by the Holy Spirit, we are given the work that we need to fulfill in order to live the life that we were supposed to live here on earth and fulfill our purpose. And whatever the Holy Spirit gives us, that's how we move. We get our strength from Him. We get our thoughts from Him. Our words, when I speak, I want the Holy Spirit to speak through me. It's not me, not Bianca the flesh, because sometimes if I get in my ways, I'm like, oh, let me take that one back. So the whole manifestation thing, it's insane, because it's like, oh well, I'm just going to manifest that I'm just going to be a millionaire, and all this is going to happen to me, and I'm going to find this wonderful sexy husband, and he's going to be rich. And it's like this crazy stuff. It's like, again, you're just wishing these things, assuming that now your words are, what's the word I'm looking for? It's pretty much like your words are solid. Like, that's it. What is said is stone, because I am the God in my life.
Oh, I love you so much for talking about this. So my husband actually comes from a pagan and Satan background, like satanic
Ooh.
background. And so whenever, right? So I didn't know anything about it. I grew up in an anti-Christian household. Not that, my family was like satanic, but they just like, they didn't believe in anything necessarily. And so for my husband to have this background, we talk about it all the time. He's like, yeah, no, like you are your own God. That is the satanic view, is that you're
Mm-hmm.
your own God,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever, there are no rules and there are no laws of like you can just do whatever you want. And I always like, not that I make fun of it, but I do a little bit. Everybody who's like into the new age, right? And they're like, I
Mm-hmm.
can manifest whenever I want. I'm like, then why are you not manifesting? Like with COVID-19, why did we not manifest that away? Why did we not like manifest for world hunger to go? Because it's not real. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can't just speak it and then it be given to you. I have a friend who came out of the new age and she's like, sometimes manifestation works. She's like, but it comes from the enemy.
Mm. Yes.
She's
Oh,
like,
yes.
there's like demonic things that happen when you're in this manifestation space. And so I really love that you're like, no, let's go back to the biblical principle of writing the vision and making it plain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that you said that though. I really do. That's awesome. Yeah, it it really is scary because really, a lot of people, and hopefully I'm not getting off topic, but you know, we're now in a generation when something good happens, we assume that that is 100% from God. Not everything that's good that comes into your life is from God. The enemy knows exactly what you like too. And he knows how to package it up in the right way where it looks good, right? It may be good for your flesh, your fleshly desires, but when it comes to your spirit, I promise you that's not what you're gonna want. Um, but yeah, like this, it's it's r- when I see it, it's actually really sad to see this new like manifestation, like I'm my own God. But hey, that's the generation that we live in, right? It's all about me, myself, and I. So we
I
have to make a change.
I love what you said about how Satan can package something up and make it look really good. So we did an object lesson with our boys like a couple years ago and covered an onion in chocolate.
Ooh.
And so the onion looked really good, right? And so then, right, the boys bite into it and it's a whole mouthful of onion. And they were like, this is not what I thought this was going to be. And we were like, yeah, that's how sin works, right? That's how temptation works. It looks good on the
Oh, that's such a
outside,
good illustration.
but it's bad on the inside. And so I'm like, you have to be really intentional and test everything against scripture. Because what looks good on the outside, Satan can give you this thing that looks very pretty on the inside, but it is foul on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what this movement is. And so I'm really excited. So we like went very like deep in this. This is not what she was like coming on here to be like, let's talk about manifestation and new age. So I'm excited for you to then just kind of explain how it is that we don't fall off track with our goals. And I'm going to let you kind of take it from there, my friend.
Yeah. So when it comes to writing the vision and making it plain, it goes so far beyond that. And I will say that it's something that until we change and truly figure out the root cause and have the proper mindset and actionable steps behind it, we're, Lord's will, we'll be here 5 years, right? But we're going to be the same person 5 years from now. How does that sound? How does that sound to say, oh, like, new year, same me?
Ew.
What? Like, yeah, like
Ew.
no one, and that's the thing. Everybody says new year, new me, but then it's like, wait, at the end of the year, you're pretty much kind of like the same person. Like, there was a lot of stuff that you said you were gonna do, but it's still pretty the same. Like, if you don't see the fruits of the seasons that you've been in, whether they're good or bad, because again, I've been molded most in the seasons where I'm in the trenches, where it ain't pretty. And my mindset may be all over the place. My relationship was all over the place. My finances were garbage. It's during those moments that you start to see, all right, and it's I'm not gonna go there because I'm gonna take us off track. But
I love it.
I feel
I
like I'm
really
gonna have
love
to
it.
come back because I feel like I have so much to give.
I
But
love what you just said about this really quickly is this like pruning process.
mhm,
So wine, right? So you've got your vines or whatever. They will bloom, right? They will produce leaves, they'll do all the things, but you have to prune them every year or you get nothing from them.
mm,
They can't produce any fruit if you don't do the pruning process.
mm, they're just there.
So there's no good fruit that can come unless you prune and remove and take a look at you have to take a look at yourself. I love that illustration. Whenever I like heard that that's what people who own vineyards have to do is they have to do this like very intense pruning process every single year. And it's like a violent process, right? Like they're like really cutting a lot back and like stripping these plants back so that they can become something better in
Mm-hmm.
the next season.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what you're talking about. I love this. So I'm so excited. So
Yes.
excited.
So, okay, so first I want to start with, I call it the Santa Claus effect. Not Santa Claus, it's the Santa Claus. So, going back to what I was saying earlier, everybody at the end of the year, think about kids, like right before Christmas, they're like writing all the things that they want Santa to bring them, right? It's all wishful thinking. It's like, oh, I want this, and then what do? The kids then give it to the parents to quote unquote drop it to the North Pole so Santa can get it, right? Quote unquote. And so, but what happens with that letter? It goes nowhere because there is no such thing as the North Pole. And that's what happens with our goals. So, like, I'll give you an example. Let's just say that, oh, I want to go ahead and I want to get in shape and, the beginning of the year, but yet you have no goals whatsoever. Like there is no game plan. That's like a coach. We're now in what? Basketball football season. God forgive me.
Right? We're like, we're
Yeah,
coming up on the
just
Super Bowl
yeah,
and it,
Super Bowl. Just kidding. Yeah, Super Bowl. So football season, right? And so imagine the coach telling his players, "We're gonna win this game. You guys go out there and you guys kill it. We're gonna win this." And there was no game plan. What do you think is going to happen with those players? They're going to be completely lost. They're probably not going to win because one person's thinking to do one thing and the other players are thinking completely different as well. So if there is no game plan, you are not going to execute anything. You have to, whatever it is that you have that you want to set as goals, you have to write it down, but not only write it down, you have to be so specific. When these players are training, they're going all in on everything from game plans to workout routines, but everything's listed out. It's not just, oh, the game plan is for you to throw the ball here and then go there and do a touchdown. Like, this is very specific game plans that they're doing. And that's exactly how we need to take our lives when it comes to our goals. Because now we're just leaving it up to chance. Again, going back with our fingers crossed, like, oh yeah, I just pray that I'm gonna get in the best shape of my life, but I have no action plan whatsoever. Like the way that it needs to look, ladies, is I'm just gonna pick weight loss, right? Get in the fitness goal. That's mine this year. You have to say, I'm gonna work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Where? At the gym at this time to this time. What are you going to do during that time? Oh, I'm going to do legs at this time. For this time, I'm going to do this amount of reps, this amount of sets. It has to be so specific. That way, again, write the vision and make it plain. If anybody were to see it, they'd be like, oh, I know exactly what she's doing. That's how we need to set our goals.
oh, I love that, right? Because then there's no confusion whatsoever
Exactly.
as to what it is that you're doing. I love the football analogy too, because my youngest is at an age now where like when he plays football, they're actually learning plays instead of
Mm-hmm.
like the coach just sitting there on the field being like, now you run here and you do this, right? So they're like learning plays. And it's such a difference to see how much my youngest enjoys football now that there's like a little bit of clear direction
Mm-hmm.
and he feels like he has like a little bit of autonomy over it,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit independent in this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Nobody's hovering over him anymore. He's out, taking the skills that he's cultivated and putting it into work and then seeing the fruits of that work.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this. I love that you said that. My goal is also to lose weight, but I also am like, I want to run a 5K. And so I
Oh, yeah.
so I
You got to
downloaded
train.
an app. Yeah, so I downloaded an app over Black Friday. They had a special on it. And it literally every single day is like, this is exactly what you need to do for this amount of time. And this is the way you're going to work out to achieve that goal.
Mm. And that's what you need. Like
I do.
people need specific goals. We can't
Yeah.
just I here's the thing. Like I'm speaking like, oh, if someone again, if obviously if someone doesn't know me, they're like, "Oh, well she, maybe she has it all together. Maybe she is, achieving her fitness goals and doing all this." Let me tell you, the last few years there's been plenty of things on that quote unquote New Year's resolution and it didn't happen at all. because again, it was like writing a Christmas list. Oh, this is what I wish for, and there was no actions behind it. So what's important to is be specific when writing your goals and then taking those actions. Without actions, nothing's going to happen. It's just a list.
I love that. What advice would you give to somebody who's like, all right, I figured out the actions, right? But maybe they lack like the motivation or like the consistency, right,
Mm,
to follow through with those actions.
yeah. So I may say something completely different than what most people are going to expect, because people would probably be like, yeah, listen to, motivational speakers, or, you know, start establishing habits, right? But here's the root cause. Like, it's like, and this is what I was like meditating on, right? the right use of meditating, because that's something else too. But it was, I'm here thinking like, what is it that stops us from hitting our goals, right? Why, where is that disconnect between I want this and making it happen? And what I figured out, it was the two F words. Now, it's not what you think, y'all, okay? It is fear and your feelings.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So fear, and here's the crazy part, because I love this. God is so good, because he was obviously the one who gave this to me. And it was, so your fears it's an obstacle that's in front of you that you're afraid of, right? But can I tell you that it is easier to overcome your feelings? Here's why. So fear is an actual object that's in front of you. Like I'll give you an example. I'm afraid of heights. Do not tell me to go on a roller coaster. I will listen. We will no. Absolutely not. I don't care how much you paid me.
You and
And
my
so,
oldest would get along well because he
yeah,
doesn't do
I
any of that
will I will
nonsense.
hold your bags, your food, your drinks. I will wave as you go up. I'm not. I'll take pictures. I got you, but I'm not going up there. And so, um yeah, so again, that's an obstacle. I'm afraid of something, an object, and that is, the roller coaster. I'm not going to get on there, right? But your feelings, the reason why it's easier for you to overcome your feelings, because it's you.
I love that.
It's you.
I love that.
Fear is an obstacle. It's something, there's an object that's holding you back. Your feelings, it's just you. You just have to overcome you. And so I'll give you an example. Like, we all say, and I'm going to give more than just like obviously the weight loss. So, like, I want to be in shape, but I don't feel like working out. I want to get closer to God. I just don't feel like reading my Bible right now. Like, I want to take time to like invest in myself. You know, I want to like read books and stuff like that. But I don't really feel like it right now. I'd rather just watch TV or just get on TikTok and just keep scrolling, right? Or
Mm,
like, I want to eat healthier, but I don't feel like cooking. It's always about your we we have made our feelings such, like, in this hierarchy where it is number 1, where no matter what it is in your life, whether you want to go to work that day, whether you want to go to an event that day, whether you want to, it doesn't matter. But from cooking to working out to everything, we are like, we take a second and we're like, but do I really feel like going? And that's where that disconnect is. If you want to hit your goals, you got to get rid of your feelings. Your feelings cannot matter anymore. As soon as you have that thought, like, I feel like, no, you have to nip that in the butt right there and say, no, I'm not even going to let this thought continue to dwell in my mind. Let me just get up and take action. And that's what's been the biggest difference in my life, is removing the feelings. If I don't feel like, a lot of people don't feel like doing stuff that they need to do. But until we get rid of those feelings, or let that thought marinate in our mind how we don't feel like this or that, again, we're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
oh, I am like obsessed with what you just said because we live in a culture, right? That is very much my feelings, my truth. This is, my lived perceived experience is the only thing that matters,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you have to like accept that that's somebody's perceived notion of the world and take it as gospel. And you're like, no, no, no. Like you can't rely on your feelings either, right? The Bible tells us that we can't lean on our hearts, right? Our feelings are fickle. They change.
Mm-hmm.
We can't trust them.
Mm-hmm. Let them know.
Right? We can't trust our feelings. And so I love that you said this because it's not a trustworthy thing that we have.
Mm-mm. No. I'll give you a perfect example today. I had to get up. I'm not even going to say the time because I'm sure everybody gets up before me. I'm not a morning person. I'm more of a late night person. And I get to like writing, create my creative, you know, stuff just comes out at night for whatever reason. I'm here like in my room or in my office, like writing stuff down, creating stuff. And but this morning, all right, let's just be honest. I woke up at 6:30 on the dot. When I can't remember the last time I woke up at 6 o'clock, 6:30, where I didn't hit the snooze button. I didn't. I don't feel like getting up at that time. I'm like, I can get up a little bit later. But do you know how good it felt to like be ready, be dressed, be back in my office by a certain time, and I'm like, boom, bam, like it just. I was like, no, I gotta keep doing this again. And it's such a big once you start killing your feelings, your feelings, and you start actually doing those actionable steps, you don't feel that aftermath of like regret, like I hit the snooze button this whole time. Oh, I ended up eating that piece of cake and I really shouldn't have ate that. I should have ate something else, or I really should have been working on my side business. Why didn't I do that? Instead, I'm over here like on social media.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this because, right, there's plenty of times I don't feel like going to the gym, right? I've got to get in my car. I got to drive 15 minutes to the gym. I got to like get myself all situated. Then I'm there for an hour. Then I got to drive 15 minutes home. I need to take a shower. Like it becomes like a 2-hour process
Mm-hmm.
to like go to the gym. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, I don't necessarily feel like doing this 99% of the time. But then I'm like, oh, I always feel so good after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have this regret. I don't wallow. I feel like I'm much more productive when I've done the actionable step and I've got to remove this, like, I don't really feel like it. I would much rather sleep in, right? Because I'm going to the gym like 4 a.m, so I can be home.
Girl, God bless you.
So that way I can be home because my kids have to get up at 6. And so I'll go to the gym at like 4. So that way I'm home when their alarm's going off and then we're starting our day, on a positive foot here. But I got to remove this, like, I want to sleep in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
'Cause
not
I
easy.
do.
That's probably one
Yes,
of
I
my
do.
biggest struggles.
Right. I want to sleep in, It would be really swell to sleep in, but that is not going to get me to the goal that I have. And so I love that you said this. So we've got to remove our feelings.
Yeah,
from
100%.
this.
Until we kill our feelings, like and I really feel like that is the enemy's way to really get to us too, because how many times, you know, hasn't a single woman seen a guy and she says, "Oh, I just kind of feel like I'm ready to be in a relationship. I just feel lonely." And like, what is the entrapment that you're going to get yourself into going into those feelings when God hasn't told you to do anything yet? He said, "Listen, I have you in your single season right now for a reason." I was like, "I don't care about your feelings. I know what's good for your heart, your soul, your mind, your future. So I need you to sit still. Don't let those feelings get you caught up, and then now you're on a dating website and now you're meeting, some crazy person." But yeah, our feelings can dictate, how we move in life and where we end up going. And it's like, you went too far. I didn't tell you to go over there. That wasn't me. That was your feelings.
Oh, I am so excited. We've already been on here for almost half an hour and I'm so excited about this. So I'm going to bring Bianca on again in the next episode so we can finish this conversation because y'all, I seriously think that you need a notebook with you, because I was sitting here writing notes on this Santa Claus effect and everything. I'm like, oh, I love this. I'm going to tell my kids this. And not that my kids know that Santa's not real yet. So
Yeah, keep them innocent, I guess.
right. I don't know yet, but when they do, I'll be like, well, let me tell you about this thing. And so anyway, so I'm so excited to just have you on again. So make sure you go follow Bianca on all of her social. It's linked in the show notes for you, and we will see you in the next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the Milk and Honey with Lemon podcast. I am so grateful you were here. I hope this episode has helped you move from feelings of doubt and uncertainty towards stepping confidently into your God-given leadership role, fully equipped with biblical wisdom. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a second to rate and review. Each review helps us to reach and inspire more Christian women leaders just like you. Don't forget to share your takeaways, post it on Instagram, tag me anywhere you're on social media, and I'll see you next week.